Welcome to this production from Western New York Athletics. Our featured sponsors for today's game are Damon University. Damon University is a private, non-sectarian university in Amherst, New York, offering undergraduate and graduate level degrees. Visit damon.edu to schedule a tour today. Richmond Vona LLC is committed to you. Being involved in a serious accident creates a whirlwind of changes. We know how serious the effects of a car accident can be on the victims and their families. At Richmond Vona LLC, we have helped our clients recover over $175 million. We have the skills and experience needed to handle a full range of car accident claims, including those with multiple parties and catastrophic injuries. Call 716-671-4341 for your free consultation today, or visit richmondvona.com. Colvin Cleaners, Western New York's premier green earth dry cleaner. Dry cleaning, wash and fold laundry, shirts, and tailoring. 2375 Elmwood Avenue, Kenmore. Call 716-873-2952. Logistics Plus of Buffalo. For all of your transportation needs, full truckload, LTL, dedicated and drop trailer moves, Logistics Plus of Buffalo is a one-stop shop. Email buffalo@logisticsplus.com for your next shipment or warehousing needs. G&G Fitness Equipment is a full-service provider of specialty home and commercial fitness equipment. Locations in Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse. Visit livefit.com. Wingnuts Buffalo, located near the Buffalo Airport at 4600 Genesee Street. Dine in or order for takeout. Open Monday to Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit wingnutsbuffalo.com. SUNY Cortland stands out as one of New York's top public universities, a medium-sized school that offers academic strength across 68 majors, a high quality of student life, and a degree that pays back graduates. Visit www.cortland.edu to schedule a visit today. Binghamton University, a world-class institution. Binghamton University offers students a broad, interdisciplinary education with an international perspective and one of the most vibrant research programs in the nation. Visit www.binghamton.edu today. We would also like to thank Pathfinder College Planning, Dan Cha-Cha Injury Attorneys, 510 Toy Shop and Sports Cards, The Mental Match with Sam Recco, Canisius High School, St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute, St. Francis High School, Trench Trophy, recognizing the top linemen in Western New York, Lewis & Lewis PC, 37 Franklin Street, Buffalo, New York, B&T Supply, and Western Division, home of the Great Rate. Thank you for joining us. Please enjoy the game.
And we welcome you live to Walter J. Hutchison Stadium. It is rivalry week here in Section 6 football, and a big one on hand here in Niagara County as the NEWFANE Panthers hit the road and take on their rival, the Wilson Lakemen. It's in Week 8 matchup here on Western New York Athletics. It is a huge one. The Panthers in the Lakemen. Hi, everyone. I'm Joe Krause. Thanks for making this part of your Friday evening and making the big trip all the way to the heart of Niagara County. Mr. Energetic himself, Tom Prince. And Tom, welcome to Niagara County. And this is a huge matchup. So much at stake in this one.
Listen, you thought energy comes now. You got to be energetic for a game like this. This is crazy. 2 undefeated teams, rivalry week, and playing your rivalry? Unbelievable.
We'll step aside for the anthem. And welcome back to Niagara County, the 83rd all-time meeting between the Wilson Lakemen and the NEWFANE Panthers. Wilson leads the all-time series 51-29-2. But here in this contest, Tom, both teams have players to watch. Who stands out to you in this one?
Well, let's start with the visiting team, NEWFANE. You got to go right to their quarterback. He leads Section 6 in rushing. He's one of the top passers. He's got already a Division I offer from the University of Albany. I'm telling you, this kid's legit. Matt Capon, and he's been legit for a couple years. He's got the size, he's got the look, he's got the athleticism, and oh, by the way, 859 yards and 10 touchdowns passing. He's got 1,233 yards and 18 yards by the ground. So you can see absolutely one of the stars, not only in this game, but one of the stars in all of Western New York. And then flip it right now on the defensive side. I believe it's the linebacker duo that you've got to watch out for. Jake Morello, 57 total tackles, an interception, 2 fumble recoveries, and Nasir Spencer, 38 total tackles. He's got 6 sacks as well. That linebacking crew could easily get back there and cause some havoc right there, and that'll be the players to watch out for NEWFANE. Flip it on Wilson. Right now, I'm going to start on the offensive side of the ball. This player right here could be one of the most athletic players in all of Western New York, I'm talking. This kid can jump through the gym. I've been watching him dunk now for multiple years. Ryan Huff, this kid is legit. 26 receptions, 396 yards, 10 touchdowns. And, Coach, when you had talked to him, what was the one thing he said? He loves his hands this year. He hasn't seen him drop anything that's come his way. This is a kid that is someone to look out for with his athletic ability when he gets the ball in the hand. And then flip it on the defensive side. Brock Lepsch is the player to watch out for. Not only, again, in this game, but all in Western New York. 80 total tackles, a sack, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. His job is to stop Capon today. Can he do it is going to be the big question.
A lot at stake here in this one between Wilson and NEWFANE. The two head coaches in his 14th year for NEWFANE. Chuck Nagel, he recorded his 5th Jackie Robinson just finished his first year playing in Major League Baseball. He broke the color barrier. And by the way, NT Stan Rojak was a teammate of his. His locker was right next to Jackie's in that season. Buffalo Bob Smith, a great broadcaster here in Western New York, hosted a children's show, Howdy Doody, and a gallon of gas was only 23 cents when these two teams first took to the field a 13-13 draw way back in 1947.
And Coach right now, Nagel, had told us he's been with the NEWFANE program 20 years already. Bill Atlas says he's been with his program 19 years. Just think about that. That's something we don't even see often. 2 coaches with that kind of longevity going head-to-head in such a big game. There are so many different storylines in this one, folks, and now is what we've been waiting for, the kickoff to happen and to really see what's going to happen out there on the field.
Great crowd, as we said, here tonight in Wilson. Taking a look at our game day temperature. Currently 48 degrees, a real feel of 41. Light rain is expected to stop here in about 40 minutes. The wind gusts coming in at 10 miles per hour from the southeast in this one. As the Wilson Lakemen wearing their home dark uniforms, they'll be kicking left to right. NEWFANE with 2 men in the backfield, including Nasir Spencer. The speed of Nasir, as Tom mentioned, on the defensive line. And Wilson, small but mighty, just 20 players on the roster coming into this one. Both teams 7-0 on the year. Both 6-0 in Class D, play the number 1 seed in the Section 6 Class D tournament is on the line. Connor Woodward ready to kick this off. Only a junior for the Wilson Lakemen. And here we go. Just a few miles away from Lake Ontario, Wilson and NEWFANE underway. The Panthers on the return. They will set up shot time at the 45-yard line with their quarterback, Mac Capon, taking to the field.
You know, Joe, you brought up about right now the number 1 seed on the line. You want to know why that's so important in this division versus, to me, any other division in Western New York? Is the traveling that happens inside this division. You don't get a bye all the way through the playoffs, and there's a chance you're going to travel down into those South towns where you could go really far, right? Randolph, Gowanda, Franklinville, Ellicottville. You don't want to go that far. You want to make sure you got home games, and this is a way to make sure that's solidified.
NEWFANE goes to the ground game on first down with Camel Flowers on the carry, about a 1-yard gain. Flowers with 3 rushing scores on the season, but Wilson able to get that stop. They're going to call this no gain here, 2nd and 10 at the Panthers' 45.
One of the things you have to look at right now for both teams want to run the ball. To run the ball, you've got to have the offensive line open up those holes. Let's see if that happens in this game.
Flowers gets the call once again. He crosses midfield, and that is brought down by Seamus George, the linebacker for Wilson. This will be about a 5-yard gain, 3rd and 5 coming up right at midfield for NEWFANE.
And I want you to think about that line. Did you see the push? Everything went to the left side of the line. All the linemen went to that left side, opened up the hole, and that was the reason for that gain right there.
Camel Flowers with 3 rushing scores on the season. He had a big one last week against Gowanda Pine Valley to keep the unbeaten streak going, and this time the Wilson defense was ready. Brock Lepsch leading the charge, and now 4th down coming up.
And you know what we say. That's why I know the guy can run the ball. I know he's effective on the offensive side, but the key to the game to me was him as the defensive side. Could he make plays like that happen out there? And that's something he does. And this is right now very important because we've seen it all year. In between the 40s is where teams will either kick it or go for it. This is that thing where it could go either way, and it looks like we're going to see NEWFANE go for this.
4th and 5 at midfield. The opening drive for the NEWFANE Panthers. Matt Capon in the shotgun. He takes a snap, looks to the near side. It is complete to Nasir Spencer. He is brought down at the Wilson 45. Lakeman thought he was short, waiting for the official call here. A good pass to the outside. It is enough time for a first down for the NEWFANE Panthers on 4th down. Let's take a look again.
We're literally sitting right at that 40-yard line. We saw that he passed it right there. You can see even the second effort got him almost a yard past right there. But how big is Capon to come up there with a 4th down play like that, get it to his receiver on the outside, and really was wide open where he just had to get just that little push to get that first down. That's a big play right there for NEWFANE on 4th and 5.
6-yard gain as Matt Capon completing 60% of his passes on the season. Delayed handoff. They now give the ball to Camel Flowers. A good carry for the senior running back. Gets to the Wilson 40. 2nd and 7, maybe 2nd and 6 coming up.
And I'll tell you, the one thing we really haven't seen so far is Capon run the ball because we know it's going to happen at points in this game. So the running team right now doing a very good job of keep gaining 5 yards, 4 yards, just enough to keep moving those sticks. And more importantly, control that clock right now because what you're doing is keeping the offense off the field for Wilson.
3 minutes gone by in the first quarter. It's another handoff to Flowers. He goes to the right, gets some help from his lineman, still on his feet, past the 30, and knocked out of bounds close to the Wilson 25-yard line. Camel Flowers coming in, averaging just over 7 yards per carry. He gets another call. NEWFANE now at the Wilson 28 for a big first down gain of over 20.
And I'll tell you, that hole opened up great on the end of the line, but then he took it to farther to the outside and made it turn that corner for a big play.
Flowers again on the call. This time Wilson able to bring the anchor. Seamus George with his 2nd tackle of the evening. This will bring up 2nd down.
You realize, I just want you to see this, folks. You just said Camel Flowers averaging 7.4 yards per carry. Capon averaging 14.6 yards per carry. That is insane of a backfield right there. And then, but don't forget about Stover, 6.2 yards per play.
Capon looks to the outside, going for that deep ball. It is incomplete. Looking for his intended receiver, the speedy Nasir Spencer. Third down, 3rd and 4, coming up at the Wilson 26-yard line. Check that 3rd and 9 here. A good attempt for NEWFANE.
I got to be honest with you, I like the call play right there. I like taking the shot, especially since you were run, because when you see that, what does a team tend to do? Stack the box, get more players up there to stop the run, and that's when you go ahead and take your shot. I like the call right there. Good defense, though, by Wilson to make sure it wasn't a wide-open pass.
Quick shoe tie on the field from NEWFANE. Everyone is ready to go. 3rd and 9 at the Wilson 27-yard line. Matt Capon in the shotgun. He steps in, moves to his right, shows off the speed, finds the open space, still on his feet to the 10, and it's a touchdown for Matt Capon, the NEWFANE quarterback from 27 yards out. The Panthers strike first.
And what a play by him. Did you see the way he stepped up into that pocket? Steps up beautifully in the pocket and then realizes, I don't have my open men downfield. I'll take it myself. You cannot arm tackle a young man like that, because if you do, he'll bust right through those arm tackles, and he does that right here.
Matt Capon with his 19th rushing score of the season. That time from 27 yards out as the Panthers strike first. NEWFANE trying to win in this rivalry for the 3rd time in the last 4 years. And now the Panthers getting ready for the kick. Tristan Smith, his kick is up, and it is good. And the NEWFANE Panthers strike first as the rain starts to fall heavily here in Wilson tonight. The 83rd matchup between NEWFANE and Wilson right here on Western New York Athletics. 7:34 left in the first quarter.
And here's that replay that we were just talking about. Watch this, Joe. You can see he'll step back, he steps back, and look at the pocket. He steps up beautifully to avoid the outside defenders and then takes it. Once this young man gets to the outside, he shows you how fast he can be. He shows you how hard he can tackle. How hard it is to tackle him, and then he takes it right into the end zone. And I'll tell you, we've seen that all year from this young man, and that's the reason why University of Albany is looking at this young man, because to me, he could play just about any position on the field. And as that body starts to change and you go off to college and you start putting on some muscle and pounds and all those things, I'm telling you, is there a position you think that young man can't play? Because I'll tell you, I'll put him anywhere on the field, and he shows that.
Well, he has done just about everything for NEWFANE except sell the popcorn in the concession stand. 19 rushing scores, over 1,200 yards rushing, plus the 10 touchdown passes. It runs in the family of playing at the college level. His father, Mike, was a 4-year letterman at Toledo back in the early 1990s. But let's see Tom, the Wilson Lakemen, and their offense coming onto the field, led by their quarterback here, making his return to the offense. Vic Kusatis, also in his senior campaign, completing right now 69.7% of his passes, flirting with the program all-time record going back to the early 1980s, currently held by Scott Perry in 1984. But first we have a flag on the field. So Wilson.
Kickoff is what it was.
So Wilson's going to start this drive, 1st and 10 at the 42.
So after this play, I want to make a point about the special teams because it was brought up on our calls.
Wilson with one man in the backfield. It's a handoff to the senior, Michael Rubel. He makes his way, spins past midfield, but we have a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I hate to say that. That's coming back. You remember Coach Nagel said to us on the call with you, he said, one of the things I have to watch out for is the special teams for Wilson because they always come up with a big play. Remember that one? Have you noticed that both the kickoffs have been very short kickoffs by both teams trying to make sure there are no plays that are getting run back? Very interesting that was something that has been a key point for both teams that were coming into this game about special teams.
So with the penalty, This will move Wilson back 1st and 20 at their own 32-yard line. Vic Huset is 69.7% of his passes completed so far. Scott Perry from 1984 with the program record of 62.8. Here's a handoff to Michael Rubel. He makes his way past the 35, knocked out of bounds at about the 37. So Wilson getting a good chunk back with their leading rusher getting the ball that time.
And you got to think you're going to have to go to the air right at one of these shots here. That penalty to start things off, it really does cost a lot of things and changes what you want to do, especially when you come out with the first play and run it as well as you did. You want to keep running the ball, but now a deep second down, I think we're going to have to see the air at one point right here early.
2nd and 15 at the Wilson 37. Kusadis is in the shotgun. He drops back the pass, looks over the middle. It is incomplete, looking for his top target, Ryan Huth, on the play. Ryan Huth, Tom, with 10 touchdown catches on the season. Does a little bit of everything. Part of the baseball success the last couple of years, but Ryan Huth with the speed and the hands, he is someone that head coach Bill Atlas really enjoys having on his team.
Well, obviously, he's got him in a couple sports there. The only sport he doesn't have him in is basketball, and I think if we would have put a net out there, he would have gone up and gotten that one because he's got that type of athletic ability. No doubt this kid could be a high jumper. I know he's a good high jumper, and that's one of the reasons why track is going to be one of the sports he looks at.
3rd and 15 for the Lakemen. Just over 6 minutes left in the first quarter. Kusadis drops back the pass. He rolls to his right. Pressure from behind, and he is brought down. Our first sack of the night coming from NEWFANE's Cameron Silver.
What a great job as you see him. Check out this replay. I want you to see the penetration. Look at how he gets into the backfield. Nobody touches him from the outside, and he shows his speed right there to be able to run him down. What a great job by him to be able to get access and then show his athletic ability.
And what a way for Cameron Silver to record his first sack of the season. Wilson now in punt formation. It is a high punt from the leg of Ryan Huth. This takes a couple bounces, and NEWFANE for the second drive tonight, starting just past their own 40, up 7-0 with 5:34 left in the first.
Hey, Tim, can I ask a favor? Can we get the camera to span in the end zone out there? Folks, I want you to watch where these fans are right now. They are lined up all the way around that end zone out there. There is no room. It's standing room only everywhere here. We told you how great the crowd is when we came in. But, boy, they are still coming in, and it just shows what these two towns and what this game means to these two towns. Absolutely incredible what we're seeing here tonight from the fans.
NEWFANE and Wilson separated by just 8 miles here in Niagara County, as the Panthers will start this drive. 1st and 10 on their own 42-yard line. Matt Capon is in the shotgun. 6 minutes to go in the first. It's a handoff to the right. Cameron Silver keeps the chains moving. Gets about 2 yards, and then he's brought down by Seamus George. That's Seamus' 3rd tackle of the evening.
Joe, this is an important stop for Wilson.
Yes.
You do not want to go down 14-0 in a rivalry game inside that first quarter. Yes, can they come back? Yes, it's not over. Totally agree. But you do not want to deflate yourself so early inside of a game. This, to me, is a big job right here for Wilson that has to happen and make a defensive stance.
2nd and 7 at the 44. The motion man, Jake Morello, NEWFANE's leading receiver on the year. But the Panthers go to the ground game again with Cameron Silver. He crosses the 45, and then on that tackle, that time on the outside, looks like it was Seamus George again on the stop, as we have 3rd and short coming up, as we have a lot of games going on out of town as well.
And I'm going to give you an update, a big one right here. Grand Island takes the lead early on McKinley. They're up 8-0 with 5:56 left in the first quarter. That's a big game that's going to change. Grand Island could go from a 4 seed to a 2 seed with a victory right here with 12 points or more.
Grand Island and McKinley, you can watch that game over on the NFHS Network. Carson Harper and the quarterback Tim Chifa on the call over the bridge as Capon fires to the outside. It is incomplete, but a flag was thrown on the play. A lot of big games in Week 8 as the penalty is against NEWFANE. So this penalty was declined. And this will bring up 4th down. 4th and 6 coming up for the NEWFANE Panthers.
And this is almost the same exact area, only about 4 yards different from where they were when they went for it already on that first drive. And you could see they've got full belief in their captain out there, Matt Capon, because he has shown he could be big all year long.
Here is the play. Capon tries to get to the outside. He does. He hurdles over a Lakeman, crossing midfield. Matt Capon putting on his Superman cape and keeping the drive going for NEWFANE.
And that literally was the best descriptions you can get, because he did go airborne to finish that one out, and he lands over the first down territory. But now this is twice he's completed a 4th down and 6, a 4th down and 5. That is, you can't ask for anything more from your leader and your team. He's literally out there putting them on their back and say, don't worry, I'll get those downs that you need.
NEWFANE now 2 for 2 on 4th down tonight, as it was Stover on the carry, crossing the Wilson 45. Gets to the 43. Check that to 44. 2nd down coming up with under 4 minutes to play in the first quarter between NEWFANE and Wilson.
So you've noticed so far, not a lot of passing by either team so far in this game, which means that clock is going to keep moving, which is going to limit the amount of possessions.
Capon drops back to pass. He rolls to his right off his back foot, and the pass is incomplete. Tight coverage in the secondary from Michael Rubel of Wilson. Jake Morello, the intended receiver on the play. And this will now bring up 3rd and 7. Time for NEWFANE at the Wilson 44.
He still almost completed that pass with coverage, and he was getting knocked to the ground right there. Does a great job of keeping his composure and still almost hits his man right there on the outside. But again, you already know this is 2 shots you're going to have at it. They're going to go for it if they don't make it here on 3rd down. So it's something you got to be aware of. You're not only going to need to stop once, you're going to need to stop them twice.
Capon in the shotgun with an empty backfield. Morello the motion man. Capon takes it himself, goes to the outside, crosses the 40, and knocked out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Going to be short 4th and less than a yard here for the NEWFANE Panthers. We just said they're 2 of 2 on 4th down conversions tonight.
And that's right now the difference in the game. Do you see, though, Capon's acceleration? The minute he gets to the outside, it's like another gear hits that he tries to take it up the sideline. The minute he makes that turn, you really see an unbelievable
As we have 2nd and 5 at the 29 with 2 minutes to play in quarter number 1. Capon is in the shotgun, 1 man in the backfield. The handoff to Stover, finds his way along the right side. The chains keep moving, and it is close to the 20-yard line. Another big run for NEWFANE.
Remember, Capon's listed at 6'4". 6'4" is what he, and I got to be honest with you, I stood next to him. I'm 6'2". I think he may be even taller than that. I really do. But he's listed at 6'4". And when you see a guy that's 6'4" bend that low to be able to get that type of coverage is really something that we're seeing there. And he really is just showing all facets of the game. You're seeing his arm. You're seeing his legs. You're seeing everything that he can do out there on the football field.
First and 10 for the Wilson 22. Stover again gets the call and brought down just shy of the Wilson 15-yard line. Wyatt Hillwick on the stop for the Lakemen as we have just over a minute left to go here in quarter number 1.
Yeah, and this is what you do. You control the clock. You want to control the line of scrimmage. You control that clock. You limit the amount of possessions another team can have. And you keep limiting that and keep running the clock the way you are, it becomes a long day for any team that's playing against you.
2nd and 3. This is the second drive of the night for NEWFANE. Capon in the shotgun. It's a handoff. No, a QB keeper for Capon. He goes past one man, still on his feet. Touchdown, NEWFANE, but a flag just came in at the end of the run.
Yeah, you got to think that's going to be some sort of block right there, and you can see where they placed it right at the 5-yard line. So that should be some sort of holding there that's going to go back, and it should go to about the 15-yard line is where that's going to come back to. But, boy, Capon just finding every hole. And even if he doesn't fully find the hole, he broke 2 tackles on that one to be able to get it, so he was running into the end zone.
So the holding penalty places the ball at the 15-yard line as we take a look again as Capon kept it himself. But the score is negated. The penalty against NEWFANE's Isaiah Gerstung. Panthers go to the ground once again on 2nd down. It's a short carry, and then Koaleapai with a team-high 9 sacks coming into tonight on the stop.
And that's a big defensive stop right there. You've got to build off anything, any momentum that could switch to your side. You got to build off of it. That's a big stop right there in that first run for Wilson. You could probably see be one more play before we go here into the second quarter.
3rd and 1 for NEWFANE at the Wilson 13-yard line. Here is the snap. Panthers go to the ground game, and that will conclude our first quarter of action. The NEWFANE Panthers in the red zone. They already scored first tonight. They're up 7-0 over Wilson. We'll be right back for the second quarter on Western New York Athletics.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Welcome back. Start of the second quarter. NEWFANE leads Wilson 7-0. But Tom, you have another out-of-town update.
No, I got multiple ones. This is even better. Grand Island has in their game, McKinley has answered. It's 8-6 with 4:21 left in the first quarter. We got Salamanca leading Chautauqua Lake in that game 7-0 with 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Olean leads Lackawanna 7-0 at the end of the first. And Gowanda Pine Valley leads Randolph 8-0 in their game with 1:45 left in the first.
3rd and 1 for NEWFANE at the Wilson 13. Capon gets even closer to the end zone, but he's brought down by the Wilson defense. By the way, going on once again another week at our headquarters in Amherst. Jake Fayok, Francis Beck with our Empire State End Zone Report, breaking down all the big postseason games right now in Week 8. Those guys do a great job as we now have 2nd and 4 at the Wilson 5-yard line. second drive of the evening for the Panthers that started on their own 42.
If you think about it, the only thing that Wilson's had for a time of possession has been 3 plays. They went 3 and out. This whole entire first quarter and the beginning of the second has been all owned by NEWFANE. Just time of possession out there is when I say own. Just time of possession has just been all NEWFANE.
Timeout on the field. We'll step aside as well. NEWFANE up 7 right here on Western New York Athletics. Out of the timeout, 2nd and 4 at the Wilson 5, and Stover is brought down hard by Bryce Avery, the junior defensive tackle. 3rd down coming up for NEWFANE.
Boy, that's a big play right there, a big stop. He filled that hole beautifully to be able to make that stop. 2 more still to go, and remember, probably the most dangerous play that NEWFANE has been 4th down.
As we said, NEWFANE is 3 of 3 tonight on 4th down. Matt Capon in the shotgun. Awaits a snap from his center, Andrew Watts. Capon goes to his right. Capon goes in, finds the seam. And it's a touchdown for the NEWFANE Panthers, 2nd of the night for Matt Capon. And the Panthers are now up by 2 scores.
Now, when we show this replay, when we get to it after the extra point, wait till you see how that hole opened up beautifully. What a great lead block that he gets, and you can see why he goes untouched right into the end zone right here.
Four-yard touchdown run for Capon. As he will now be the ball holder as the kick is on and no good for Tristan Smith. Wilson with a great play on special teams, as you talked about earlier tonight, Tom, about the special teams, and NEWFANE only leads now 13-0.
But here's that replay. Watch this lead block right here. See it? Boom. See that pop right there, that lead block? That's exactly how that hole opens up. A great job right there to be able to make it so Capon can walk into the end zone and not be touched. Now becomes the big set of downs on offense for Wilson. He said you don't want to go down by 2 scores. Okay, you have. But you can still answer right here and keep it a 1-score game. Everything's okay. But that just shows you how big this set of downs is. You can't go with 3 and out. You've got to be able to move the ball and be able to try to get that ball at least with some time off the clock so that it's not going to be all NEWFANE time of possession.
Matt Capon with his 2nd rushing score and 20th of the season. He had 4 in the season opener against Parker Royhart, and then again in week 4 against Randolph. As you see the kick right at midfield, Wilson is able to pick it up. Heads up play by the Lakemen. They'll have a good spot to start this new drive time.
It is interesting how both teams are okay with starting positions at midfield. That they'd rather have you have a starting position at midfield versus running one back. Because that is obviously why you're doing that, because you do not want someone to get that ball and run that back for a touchdown. And it was pointed out before the game. Watch out, folks. Special teams, it is very dangerous, especially when it comes to Wilson and what they're capable of.
So the Lakemen will start right at midfield. Kusanis is in the shotgun. And off to Rubel. Bumps off one man and then taken down at the NEWFANE 48-yard line. The tackle coming from Spencer. About a 2-yard gain to start this drive for the Lakemen.
I'll tell you, that was right there. almost breaks one for a big play. You can see, great job by the NEWFANE defense. They hold serve right there, keep them at a 3-yard gain. But that's something that Wilson's got to keep pounding. That's how they started off. If not for a penalty, there's a chance that they actually would have had a great drive to kick things off.
And off to the right to Rubel again. He is tripped up at the 45, and that is Aiden Cronkite on the tackle, listed at 6'2", 215 pounds on the defensive line. 2-yard gain and 3rd and 5 coming up for the Lakemen.
What you've done right now by giving Wilson such great field position is now you're giving them the opportunity to go for it on 4th down as well. So it's very interesting because of this, what you think as a coach to be whether you're going to have 1 or 2 shots at things as you start going down the field.
Rubel 7 yards back. Here's a drop back to pass. Kusadis looks along the near side, putting it up, and it is caught for the Wilson touchdown. Ryan Huff, 45-yard score. The Wilson Lakemen are on the board.
That's why he's looking at track right there. Did you see that speed? He had 2 yards on the defender right there for him to throw it up. Great pass, great catch, and great answer. That's what Wilson needed to do right here to keep this a game. That was a perfect throw, and Huff showed why his athletic ability is the way he is. That kid is an unbelievable athlete. He really is.
Ryan Huff able to record his 11th touchdown of the season. And he has been on a tear the last 3 weeks now. Since week 5, he has now had 7 touchdowns for the Lakemen. Closing in on 30 catches on the season as well. As Connor Woodward is on to kick. The snap is bobbled. Woodward on the dive. The extra point, no good. But the Wilson Lakemen strike with a big one through the air. Vic Kusadis to his longtime teammate Ryan Huff from 45 yards out in absolute dime time.
Watch this when you look at the outside. We're not going to get into right about the catch right here. Look at the thing. It's about 2 yards is what he has on the defender right there. And what a beautiful throw. You see Huff run underneath that. That is a perfect throw by your quarterback. That is a perfect catch right there. That's a perfect route, and that's the reason why you got a touchdown.
Perfect. That is the word that you would describe that big drive as Wilson now on the board.
You got to think about how big of that is your as a coach to go, we needed an answer, we got it. The only thing that you can say that be negative is you haven't taken any time off the clock. If you look about it, you may say that the time of possession in this game, has Wilson had it for 3 minutes?
That's about 3 minutes, I would say.
3 minutes?
Yes.
What it is, so think about that. We've gone through a quarter and part of the second, 3 minutes is all that we've seen the time of possession in Wilson down by a touchdown. Imagine the adjustments that are going to be talked about inside that locker room. And I'll tell you, this could be one of those, depending on what happens here in the next 903. Both teams can go in the locker room and positive and influence things.
So here comes NEWFANE on the return through the traffic. Camel Flowers makes his way to the NEWFANE 35-yard line, and that is going to be a good start for the Panthers with 8:55 to go in the second quarter.
And that's the first time we've seen either team pick it off. That hasn't been some sort of squib kick or being able to try to do an onside or like a shorter kick. This is the first time we've seen them go deep. Great coverage right there by Wilson, because now this is probably the worst starting position for NEWFANE. You say it. So this is bad, but it is the deepest that they've been so far.
2 drives, 2 scores for NEWFANE so far.
Got a D update coming, folks.
Here is Capon in the shotgun. The handoff up the middle. And the Panthers get a good stop and getting up to about the 39.
Here's our update, just so everybody knows, Joseph comes from the D division. Gowanda, Pine Valley, and Randolph are now tied at 8. So it's 8-8 in the second quarter with 9:46 left inside that one.
Gowanda, Pine Valley trying to bounce back after losing to this NEWFANE team a week ago. It is second and 8 at the 38-yard line for the NEWFANE Panthers. Matt Capon in the shotgun. He looks to his left, halfback pass. It is caught out of the backfield, making a big move past the 45, and a good grab by the NEWFANE Panthers. Up to the Wilson 45 was Tristan Smith out of the backfield. A big play, and it's going to set up third and manageable. We'll call this 3rd and 1.
That's a great job there by King. Instead of worrying about something going deep downfield or throwing something into coverage, you had your man right there. You took advantage of it, and look at it, a 9-yard play. And an easy job. Yeah, get that first down right there and keep that clock moving and keep the time of possession with you.
3rd and 1 coming up for NEWFANE. Less than a yard away. As Capon on the QB keeper, he gets it, and more going down the sideline, past the Wilson sideline, and a touchdown. Make it 3 for 3 for Mac Capon, this time from 55 yards out.
There are not many quarterbacks I know that run through tackles like we're seeing Capon do right here. And not only tackles, you're doing it with defensive linemen and linebackers is what you're doing. And you're breaking those kind of tackles and running there. And I'll tell you, one of the most underrated part of Mac Capon's game is, did you see when he got to the outside how fast he really is when he's breaking away from the defenders?
Mac Capon, a multi-sport athlete at NEWFANE, a lot of success with head coach Eric Klump on the basketball side as well. As NEWFANE going for the 2-point conversion, he drops back. It is over the middle, and it is good. NEWFANE now up 21-6.
Hold on, there's flags in the backfield. So it is good, but we're going to get flags, and that's in the backfield. I won't be surprised if this comes back. But there are two. One's right at the line of scrimmage, and one is about where Capon threw the ball, so we'll see if that comes into play right now.
Holding is the call against the Panthers.
So holding against NEWFANE here.
And remember, they were down on this side of the field, down right there. Capon had run one in on the other side of the field for a touchdown, called back with a flag. Very similar spot, too, on the field that NEWFANE was at. Hey, our producer's killing it here. Our producer's doing the camera for you guys, doing the producing work. Like, Tim Gardner deserves a ton of credit for this game, making this a possibility for everybody here in the NEWFANE and listening communities.
Another flag on the play was against the Lakeman.
So there was a second flag that came into play. So then that's exactly what we saw. But I said to you, there were two flags, and I was wondering if they were going to come into play, and the second one does.
So NEWFANE is lined up to try the 2-point conversion once again. Capon in the shotgun. He looks to the far side of the end zone, sliding just out of bounds. No good to the intended receiver, Nasir Spencer. And our score now stands NEWFANE in front of Wilson, 19-6 with 7:23 left in the second quarter. As we'll take a look again. Not a bird, not a plane, but Super Mac Capon taking one man down and going all the way down the sideline. 55 yards out, his third rushing score of the night. And the Panthers are now up by 13.
How many times? Joe, you've called so many games, probably more than I've even thought about. How many times have you seen a quarterback break a tackle like that and just take off down the sideline? You just don't see that. That's when I started off early on in this one talking about the athletic ability to play anywhere in the field. So you talked about Capon being a wide receiver. I called him the player of the game in that game at wide receiver. He had an unbelievable day that day that we called that game when we were in NEWFANE, and he's done it ever since. He's been for him. He's really been lighting it up, whether he's going to play wide receiver, whether he plays safety, whether he plays some other position on defense, or he's now playing quarterback.
Whistles came in on that play.
Absolutely, Tom, as we have a flag on the field. So NEWFANE will have to move back to the 40 this time. I had a chance to talk with Bill Atlas earlier this week, who said we have to contain the run, contain the tackles. Still confident in this group, but a lot of time, of course, left in this game.
He added one more thing. You have to stop Matt Cape. That's what he said. And that's something that Capen hasn't been stopped yet. He's going to talk about the way you're wrapping up, the way you got to make sure you stop those tackles and make sure they happen on your behalf.
Wilson able to recover the short kick here, just shy of midfield. Bryson Pallone with the scoop, and the Lakeman will take to the field. Just the third offensive drive here for Wilson.
We got two updates, Joe. One comes from the south. Salamanca is now tied up with Chautauqua Lake. As Chautauqua Lake scores at 7-7 with 8:11 left in the second quarter. Gowanda Pine Valley has now taken the lead from Randolph. It's 14-8 in that game with 6:52 left inside the second quarter. Funny, all these games are right around the same time. We've been right in that, like about a minute off between all of them.
Wilson in the I formation. Rubel gets the carry, finds the open space, and dives his way past the NEWFANE 45. Michael Rubel, younger brother of Jaden, who had a great career in track and field and cross country here at Wilson the last few years. On the run, Michael now on the big carry. As we have reached 7 minutes to go in the first half here tonight, Walter J. Hutchinson Stadium, the 83rd meeting between NEWFANE and Wilson right here on Western New York Athletics.
Folks, if you go right now, you can actually go to my Twitter page if you want, but I don't want to take credit for this because it's Harry Stoll did it. Has a great interview with Sean Dolak, who's at West Seneca for the West Seneca East-West rivalry right now. He's on the sidelines, and he talked to Harry Stoll out there.
Sean Dolak off to a great start in the NFL with the LA Rams as Rubel gets some help on the outside, getting just close to the NEWFANE 35, brought down at the 36. Wilson now, Tom Prince, getting some momentum in the ground game.
And that's what you want. You need something to go into the second half. This, by far, has been the best drive when you talk about the amount of time that you're actually using out there. This has got to be Wilson's answer. You get right now the answer right here. You score, put up points, keep it a one-score game, and then you've got to figure out on defense what to do with the game.
First and 10 for the Lakemen at the NEWFANE 37-yard line. One man in the backfield. Kusanis under center. The ball finds its way to Rubel again to the outside, and he is brought down at the NEWFANE 35-yard line. About a 1-yard gain this time for Rubel, who is averaging a staggering 8.3 yards per carry going into tonight's matchup and a team-high 7 touchdowns.
We talked about pretty much everybody that runs the ball so far, and we haven't had anybody that's got under 6 yards per carry. Think about that. You're absolutely getting a first down almost every other time that you touch the ball, whether you're on NEWFANE or Wilson.
Both teams enjoying to run the football here tonight. It is 2nd and 9. Rubel goes to the outside, spins past the 35, and brought down by the NEWFANE defense. Cronkite and a host of Panthers in on the stop. Under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Third down coming up at the NEWFANE 34.
Again, you're in that fourth down territory that you could go for. So you do get 2 shots at this. So think about it. You can run the ball another time to see if you can run it another time, or then you can decide whether you're going to go to the pass depending on how far that it is. But you're giving yourself opportunities when you get down this deep.
3rd and 7 for Wilson at the NEWFANE 34. Kusanis in the shotgun. He looks towards the near side, fires over the middle. It is complete. A nice play to Wyatt McGinnis, the senior slot receiver, all the way close to the NEWFANE 20. It's a big first down for the Wilson Lakemen.
What a great job. Watch this. Just how poised he is, sitting in the pocket and literally one step up, and you can see his arm strength right there as he gets the ball out very quickly to make sure that's a first down. And those are quick plays. You got to make sure those come out of your hand very quick. because those will close up very, very quickly when you got a guy that's going to a spot like that. Great job, though, there by Wilson to be able to get that ball as quick out as they did.
It was a gain of 15, first and 10 to NEWFANE 22. Cusatis takes it himself, finds the open space, and tripped up inside the 10-yard line by Jake Morello. A big run from the quarterback, Vic Cusatis, in his senior campaign.
Think about one of the things we talk about him is he is actually on pace to break the school record right now for percentages. And he's had some great passes here tonight. Think about where I want to say he's 2 for 3. Is that what he is right now?
Yes.
So he is under his percentage when you think about it right now. But we know there's more still to come, and there's a chance that he can go up and over that percentage.
Big run for Cusatis, also a star rustler here at Wilson. First and goal at the NEWFANE 8-yard line, just over 3 minutes to go. Rubel goes past one man, tries to get to the outside, and he is hit hard from behind. Looks like by Spencer. Rubel trying to get to the end zone, but second and goal coming up instead.
Got some updates for you. Listen to this one. This is a big game in the AA to me. This is right now going to decide who could be first place in the AA. It's Orchard Park 0, Bennett 0 within the second quarter with 6:13 left in that one. That's big right there. Salamanca has taken the lead over Chautauqua Lake 13-7 with 6:51 left in the second quarter.
Second and goal for Wilson. Trying to make this a one-score game. It's a handoff up the middle to Rubel. He is tripped up just short of the goal line. Another carry for Rubel, and it looks like it was on the tackle. Jason Cole on the play. Third and goal, Wilson knocking on the door, now at the 1-yard line with just over 2 minutes to go before the break.
Yo, we knew we had a game in front of us. We really did, and it's showing to come out exactly that. What did we expect? We said, remember what we said when NEWFANE scored that second touchdown? Listen, it can happen. You don't want it to, but don't think a team can't come back. And Wilson right now trying to answer to make it at least a one-score game.
Third and goal at the 1 for the Lakemen. It's the handoff over to this time the big man, Brock Lepsch on the carry. It's a touchdown. Brock Lepsch, the 6-foot fullback and middle linebacker. And we have ourselves a game once again. Wilson cutting into the deficit.
And I'll tell you, that's something where he shows why he's a big man, why he's the linebacker out there, why he can produce so much. And there was nothing that was going to stop him from getting into that end zone.
Brock Lepsch with his 7th rushing score of the season. And now Connor Woodward is on to attempt the extra point.
Brock listed at 6 foot 200. And I'll tell you, he plays much bigger than 200 pounds out there.
The kick is up, and it is a beauty. Wilson now trails NEWFANE 19-13 with 1:47 left to go in this second quarter.
So, Joe, let's talk about one of the things that we have heard multiple times inside this game that we've alluded to. That's special teams. We've seen now some extra missed point opportunities right here. Could we be talking about those 2-point conversions or those missed extra points come back to haunt either of these teams right now? It could be very interesting to see if this comes down to a one-score game, and that's the difference inside this game. It's setting up right now. That could happen.
A lot of crazy events have happened in this rivalry, including most recently, Tom, back in 2019, NEWFANE won over Wilson, Wilson won over NEWFANE in overtime back in 2019, 16-13. 2 years ago, Wilson won over NEWFANE by a score of 36-34. So you have absolutely said it, partner. A lot can happen off the missed points as now the Panthers try to return this with Cameron Stover making his way up to the 30. And now a flag comes in after the play is over.
And that's a late flag. You got to think that's going to be some sort of unsportsmanlike conduct right there. See who it's going to go against.
There is also a injured player for NEWFANE.
Injury timeout on the field.
While we have the injury timeout, Tim, if you can, let's step aside. We'll be right back Western New York Athletics.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
Or an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs. More information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Explore your next idea. Blaze new trails. Imagine new ways to do things. What will you do next?
And welcome back. After the injury timeout, there was a penalty against Wilson on the kickoff return. First and 10 for the Panthers on their own 45. Making his way through the traffic to the outside is Camel Flowers, who is bumped out of.
Welcome to this production from Western New York Athletics.
Fade up on over Wilson right now, 19-13, under 90 seconds left to go. A big thanks to our sponsors once again for helping us bring this broadcast to you. All with Tom Prince and our producer Tim Gardner. I'm Joe Kraus. As we have second down, 2nd and 7 at the 48-yard line for the NEWFANE Panthers. All three scores for the blue and white tonight coming from the man in shotgun right now, Mac Capon. This time it's a QB draw. He gets to the outside, finds the open space, has the open green. The Lakemen trying to take him down, and they do. What a tackle from behind from Ryan Huff. Speed against speed, and Wilson wins the battle.
But again, I thought there were two missed tackles right there as you saw Capon take off. He has just been breaking tackles, and that's the one thing that Coach Atlas is going to be addressing at halftime. We can't allow him to keep running free the way he has, and you can't allow him to break tackles the way that he have been. So watch this, Joe. We talked about it, right? Right there, 1, and then 2. Did you see how his shirt went backwards right there? 2 broken tackles, and then here he goes, like you talked about, Huff to be able to run him down, to be able to make sure that that's not a touchdown. And now you're asking for your defense to try to come up big here with just 53 seconds left inside the half.
A timeout was taken. We'll keep this here. 1st and goal at the 5 coming up. And Tom, your phone continues to blow up here with updates.
Yeah, Bennett right now has taken the lead over Orchard Park. It's Bennett 6, Orchard Park nothing, with 3:58 left in the second quarter.
Tight contest in Class AA. Again, Jake and Francis back in the studio tonight with the Empire End Zone report. Regular season finale for those gentlemen. 1st and goal at the Wilson 5 for the NEWFANE Panthers. Lakeman bringing some pressure along the defensive line. Matt Capon in the shotgun. Cameron Silver moving up to the line for protection as Capon moves to his right on the QB keeper. He stumbles his way in, and it's a touchdown. Making a 4-for-4 deal for Matt Capon. His 4th rushing score of the night, and NEWFANE goes back, extending their lead to 2 scores.
Joe, normally 4 touchdowns by a player would get you a Conley Cup nomination easily in any single week. We're talking 4 touchdowns at halftime and against a top team inside your division. Unbelievable the performance we're watching him do right now inside this first half.
NEWFANE lining up for the 2-point formation. Pressure, Capon trying to escape it, and he's brought down by Brady Seeley, the senior, stepping up on special teams. NEWFANE now leads by 12, 25-13, with 46 seconds left in the first half.
Here you want to watch. Look at the push. See how the entire push goes off to the left side, and then Capon finds just enough of a hole right there to be able to get through into the end zone. Great job by him for number 4 out there today.
Yeah, with that fourth score, it's now the third time this season. Check that, the fourth time that Matt Capon has scored 4 touchdowns in a single game. He did it week 1 against Parker Roy Hart, week 4 against Randolph, and week 5 against Silver Creek Forestville before this matchup here tonight.
But remember, that was for a full game.
Yes.
This is for the half he's done this, with still another entire half to go to see what he's out there capable of doing. And here he is doing it again, right? Now he's going to kick off for his team.
Another short kick, and Wilson able to dive on top of it. And we'll start at the 30-yard line with 45 seconds to go before our halftime break.
And remember, Wilson does get the ball in the second half, so that is big. We can cut this down to a one-score game if you don't have something big happen right here. And that's still important to make sure that you've got the opportunity to make it one-score game. It just takes one defensive stop by your team to get back in this. And remember, another missed extra point by NEWFANE. This is something that could come up as this game advances into the second half.
Great crowd on hand. Standing room only here tonight. As we showed you earlier, no one has left yet as Cusadis the handoff to the outside. Rubel on the carry. He gets past the 30, and a timeout called by the Wilson Lakemen.
Joe, I'm very big on sportsmanship, especially out there in the field. And on that last play, I don't know if you saw what happened just before the handoff. You actually saw Stover go back and get what would have thought it would have been a sack. And what does he do? Helps him back up. They hug it out right there and get right back over to their sidelines. That's true sportsmanship. And in a rivalry game, you don't see that a lot, but you're seeing that happen right here. And that's exactly why these are two class teams out here playing and showing it out there on the field.
Oh, as Chuck Nagel told us earlier this week, he said the two schools are only separated by 8 miles, and everyone knows each other here in NEWFANE and Wilson right here in Niagara County. It's every week except this one that these two have to put the friendship to the side. And you said, especially sportsmanship. I know we've been on broadcasts together over the years. That's a big key of sportsmanship.
Absolutely. And listen, why do you see so many high schools and so many different people reward that at the end of a game? Because of how much it means. It doesn't only mean what it is on the football field. It means to you as a person and where you're going to go in life as well. To see that is something special because it means you've already got those genes inside you. Congratulations. That's something that needs to be pointed out.
Closing in on the final 30 seconds of the half. A reverse run on the carry is Huff, and he is dropped in the backfield. A big tackle from Matt Capon as we are winding down in this second quarter.
Capon had to say is, listen, you ran me down. I got to do the same thing right now, and does a great job there on defense. As you saw him come right into the backfield to make that stop.
Timeout called by Wilson.
That Grand Island McKinley game still 8-6 with 2:30 left inside the second quarter in that one. A lot of close games out here. In fact, the last couple weeks we've been really talking about blowouts. There's been so many blowouts that we've seen in the last couple weeks all throughout Section 6. So now we're in rivalry week, and I'll tell you, some of these scores coming in is fun to see because there are so many good games that are be a part of that you can watch and really enjoy here inside Section 6.
Grand Island and McKinley, our crew tonight on the NFHS Network. Carson Harper and Tim Chifa on that call. Last week of the regular season, the postseason underway in less than 7 days from now, next Thursday. Postseason brackets will be announced this weekend as here is dropping back to pass, stepping in, making the throw. Cusadis, it is up, jump ball, incomplete. Capon denies the receiver, Skylar Adelot, on the play.
It's tough when you're going to get in a 1-1 matchup where the defender is a 6'4" defender. I don't care who it is. It's going to be a tough matchup, and Capon does a great job defensively of going up in the air and knocking that one down. Good job right there by Capon as well as the NEWFANE defense.
So 4th and long coming up for Wilson. Final 10 seconds of the half. Ryan Huff is back in point formation for the Lakemen. Line drive kick, tracked down by Jake Morello. He moves towards his left. Morello going past the NEWFANE sideline and brought down at the Wilson 43-yard line with 2 seconds left. So NEWFANE will have time for one last play, unless they just take the knee here, Tom, up 12.
I wouldn't. I'd run Capon. Why not? Capon showed his explosive ability with one run. I'm going to do something with a run with him right now and see if he can do another one.
Timeout is called by NEWFANE.
We got another score update. It comes another rivalry week game in the Southtowns. It's Dunkirk 7, Fredonia 0 at halftime inside that game. That's a big rivalry right there. I'll tell you, best entrance in Western New York, Fredonia. Best entrance. When you see them coming running down that hill through the woods, there is, down at the Orange Bowl, I'm telling you, to me, there's no other scene. There are some great ones that come in, but the way that you come in and the ambiance and the setting, boy, if they really put, because there's been so many talk for years that they're going to put in so much money into that Fredonia Orange Bowl, I really wish they would, because I just think it's a special place to go down and play. And that's in the middle of the town. It's not even a part of school. That's a true town game when you look at what it could happen as far as schools go.
Last 2 seconds, and NEWFANE takes a knee to close out the first half of action. The NEWFANE Panthers, 4 rushing scores from Matt Capon, up over Wilson by a score of 25-13. We'll step aside for our halftime break and come back with more right here on Western New York Athletics.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve.
You will get super high level communication, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals.
If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Wing nuts. You still got to go.
Have you guys tried Room 40 yet?
Looking for the perfect spot to throw your next party? Say hello to Room 40, our private event space at both Wingnuts locations. Maybe you got a birthday, a graduation, anniversary, business event, rehearsal dinner, or even a sports banquet. From intimate get-togethers to rowdy celebrations, Room 40 is built to handle it all and fits up to 60 guests. With custom food and drink packages, flexible setups, legendary Wingnuts hospitality, and all the wings you can handle. If you're planning a celebration or get-together in Buffalo, this is where the party's at. Local vibes, zero stress, all fun. Book Room 40 today and throw a party Buffalo won't forget. Hit the link in our bio or visit wingnutsbuffalo.com/room 40 to book now.
All right, well,
I'll go if you go to Wingnuts.
Deal.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Seek your next adventure. Make your next memory. Explore your next connection. What will you do next?
Look, Patriot account is not going to close itself. Looks like you're going to be here late again. I need this by morning.
Oh no, not again. My son has a football game tonight.
WNYAthletics.com. You can thank me later.
WNYAthletics. Your home for high school sports.
Yes.
Cha-Cha's got you. If you've been injured, don't you worry, Cha-Cha's got you. Don't you worry, Cha-Cha's got you.
Call 648-3030.
And it is halftime here at Wilson, just a few miles away from Lake Ontario. NEWFANE with a 25-13 lead over Wilson. Joe Kraus, Tom Prince, our producer, Tim Gardner. Big thanks to everyone up here at Wilson for their hospitality tonight. As we take a look at the first half highlights, Tom, if you enjoy running the football, this package is for you.
It really is, and that's kind of what we saw from both teams, except for the one big pass play that you saw from Wilson. But here's Capen's first touchdown. As you saw him take it right to the outside, breaking multiple tackles in for a touchdown. And then that's the first time we saw Capen's athletic ability. Here's run number 2 there by Capen. You saw that was the great block we talked about as it opened up that hole nicely for him to run right through. And then here's that big pass play. What a pass right here from Kusatis down to Huff, and there it is as he walks it in for a touchdown, and there is where it's a one-score game at this point. Now comes the answer again from NEWFANE as you see Capen again. Breaks 1-2 tackles and then finds the hole, and then it becomes a track meet for him as he takes it all the way into the end zone for another touchdown, and that's his third touchdown right there. Then the answer for Wilson comes from Lepsch right there into the end zone as he's not stopped and shows why he's used as that short line running back right there. And then again, Capen as he comes up for number 4. You saw the nice cut back in right there, and he cuts it right back in and goes right into the touchdown area. And that's where we stand right now. And it so far has been the Matt Capen show with NEWFANE. Now the question becomes, can Wilson come out here in the second half, especially in this first drive right here, and see if they can make this a one-score game? Because I really believe that they do. That momentum could really shift back in the way of Wilson.
Our halftime score, NEWFANE leads Wilson 25-13. We'll step aside for another short break. You are watching Section 6 High School Football on Western New York Athletics.
Welcome to this production from Western New York Athletics. Our featured sponsors for today's game are Damon University. Damon University is a private, non-sectarian university in Amherst, New York, offering undergraduate and graduate level degrees. Visit damon.edu to schedule a tour today. Richmond Vona LLC is committed to you. Being involved in a serious accident creates a whirlwind of changes. We know how serious the effects of a car accident can be on the victims and their families. At Richmond Vona LLC, we have helped our clients recover over $175 million. We have the skills and experience needed to handle a full range of car accident claims, including those with multiple parties and catastrophic injuries. Call 716-671-4341 for your free consultation today, or visit richmondvona.com. Colvin Cleaners, Western New York's premier green earth dry cleaner. Dry cleaning, wash and fold laundry, shirts, and tailoring. 2375 Elmwood Avenue, Kenmore. Call 716-873-2952. Logistics Plus of Buffalo. For all of your transportation needs, full truckload, LTL, dedicated and drop trailer moves, Logistics Plus of Buffalo is a one-stop shop. Email buffalo@logisticsplus.com for your next shipment or warehousing needs. G&G Fitness Equipment is a full-service provider of specialty home and commercial fitness equipment. Locations in Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse. Visit livefit.com. Wingnuts Buffalo, located near the Buffalo Airport at 4600 Genesee Street. Dine in or order for takeout. Open Monday to Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit wingnutsbuffalo.com. SUNY Cortland stands out as one of New York's top public universities. A medium-sized school that offers academic strength across 68 majors, a high quality of student life, and a degree that pays back graduates. Visit www.cortland.edu to schedule a visit today. Binghamton University. A world-class institution, Binghamton University offers students a broad, interdisciplinary education with an international perspective and one of the most vibrant research programs in the nation. Visit www.binghamton.edu today. We would also like to thank Pathfinder College Planning, Dan Cha-Cha Injury Attorneys, 510 Toy Shop and Sports Cards, The Mental Match with Sam Recco, Canisius High School, St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute, St. Francis High School, Trench Trophy, recognizing the top linemen in Western New York, Lewis & Lewis PC, 37 Franklin Street, Buffalo, New York, B&T Supply, and Western Division, home of the Great Rate.
Look, Patriot account is not going to close itself. Looks like you're going to be here late again. I need this by morning.
Oh no, not again. My son has a football game tonight.
WNYAthletics.com. You can thank me later.
WNYAthletics. Your home for high school sports.
Yes.
And welcome back. NEWFANE doing its stretches. Wilson coming out soon. NEWFANE with a 25-13 lead over the Wilson Lakemen as we are winding down here at halftime. Along with Tom Prince and our producer Tim Gardner, I'm Joe Krause. Thanks for making us part of your Friday weekend. It is rivalry week here in Section 6 football. So many updates coming through as well. Grand Island trying to lock up that number 2 seed in Class A. And Tom, you put your finger up, you got another one.
Literally, as you said that, it came through. Grand Island right now takes the lead. They're up over McKinley 14-6 at halftime. Bennett has now taken a 12-0 lead over Orchard Park at halftime, and Gowanda Pine Valley beats the buzzer and leads their game 22-8 over Randolph at half in that one.
So many updates, so many close games. Like you said, Tom, just last week it's so much on the line.
Yeah, and again, it's not even that not all these games have stuff on the line, but the fact that it's rivalries. That's why they did. You're matching up against somebody you consider a rival. And why we got so excited about this game is not only are they rivals right here, but they're undefeated rivals coming into each other, and we've really had a special one that we've been able to watch here tonight. That Grand Island McKinley game, though, that we've referred to, that's also big seeding on the line as they're trying to get a number 2 seed in that one. And then we've been trying to give you the Gowanda Pine Valley updates in that one because it affects the seedings inside the D conference. And think about it. If you lose this game out here, you're talking about your possible 2-3 seeds and who wins that game right there. So there is a lot of things that are on the line right now that you're trying to learn from that what's happening around Western New York.
And as you mentioned about Class D, Wilson has been in that class the last few years. NEWFANE moving down from Class C going into this year. A lot of miles logged, as we heard eastbound and down during our halftime music mixtape here in Wilson tonight. But a lot of miles for these two Niagara County teams going down to the southern tier. And as we said, Tom, it hasn't been a factor for either, as they're both unbeaten, 6-0 apiece in Class D.
Yeah, it really has. And there's been some great games inside this division so far. But now you're talking about, at least right now, both of these teams know they're going to end up as the 1 or the 2 seed. And at least that 1 or 2 seed will ride you through the playoffs. But again, now you're still talking about matchups. Who's the 3 seed? Does somebody really want to face a Gowanda Pine Valley team that could get real hot? That Kaposi, we know, can throw the ball all over the field. If this kid has a game, we know he could go for 5, 6, 7 touchdowns in a game. Do you want to be able to play that? Especially as the weather starts getting different right there. Sometimes the weather can neutralize some speed on the field and some of the things that are happening. Who knows? That's what starts to happen, but that's what you start to look at as far as matchups are concerned and what you could possibly see when the playoffs come around.
So we're moments away from the start of the second half. NEWFANE leads Wilson 25-13. Wilson, of course, known for its success on the hardwood over the last few decades. The boys team and Coach Brett Sipple won its first ever sectional title back in March, and the girls program have been the queens of the Niagara Orleans League. Been really dominant the past few years, and with head coach Brian Baker at the helm, he has had a winning season in each of his 16, 17 years at the helm. So many great players have come through. A few that come to mind, Peyton McGinnis, Kate Cliff, Ryan Ferry, who have all gone on to play collegiately in their respective sports. Ryan currently playing Division III hockey at Curry College, Peyton at Alfred State for basketball, and Kate Cliff tomorrow. It's the volleyball court for SUNY Niagara in the WNYAC semifinal at 10 a.m. against Monroe. But a lot of success. Wilson, we mentioned about baseball, snapping a long sectional title drought 2 years ago. Tyler Johnson now 10th all-time in the state in career strikeouts on the mound. As here we go at the opening kick. NEWFANE indicating that they have recovered the football, and they have. What a play for the NEWFANE Panthers, Tom, to recover the second half kickoff.
It really is how the first half went, right? When you talk about momentum and what was going on inside this game.
We have an injured Wilson Lakeman as well.
And that, to me, like I said, when we were at halftime, that I really felt this was a big possession for Wilson, that they wanted to get that ball because if they could come down and score, it was a momentum shift into the second half that could go your way. But, boy, how did that momentum just shift it back? And here it is, and you can see it just squirted right under. And I'll tell you, I did step out at halftime outside of the press box. It is still raining out there. It is still wet out there. And that ball is very slick, and I am sure that turf is very slick. So you could see as it squirted right underneath him right there. And if you look, it's hard to tell. It's obviously nowhere near raining as it was earlier in the game, but it is still drizzling out there. It is still very slick, and that's one of the big reasons why you saw that happen.
So the NEWFANE offense will take over in Wilson territory. 1st and 10 at the Lakeman 41-yard line. Matt Capon in the shotgun. It's a quick pitch to Spencer. Spencer gets to the outside to the 40. And he is brought down from behind. Josiah Lawrence on the outside for the Lakeman. We'll call this about a 2-yard gain.
Boy, and I'll tell you, you are asking a lot of your defense when you're Wilson. Remember, we've been talking about this time of possession throughout the game. So I want you to think about that. What team has been on the field the most? It's been that Wilson defense is what's been out there. And in a rainy night, a cold night, because, again, we really are just starting to see this temperature turn. So you got rain, you got cold, and all that's coming into play right there out in the field. And tired legs because you've been out there so much.
Panthers go to the ground game. It's been working all night. Stover on the carry, and at halftime, all of NEWFANE's offensive yards except for 6 came through the ground. It was just a 6-yard pass play. NEWFANE continuing to run the football here, which shows, as you mentioned about the weather, but late in the season when you can get a running game going, how does that make you an extra dimension going into the playoffs?
Oh, it's huge because as the weather changes, you're going to run the ball more. In fact, I'll never forget years ago when Dunkirk didn't pass the ball in the entire game at the stadium and came up with a win. There are times that run is going to really be affected.
3rd and 1, Capon gets enough for the first down. The Panthers keep the chains moving now inside the Wilson 30. It'll be the ball spotted at the 28-yard line.
And I'll tell you, you look at both teams when you play a game like this. Remember, multiple guys on the Wilson team are playing both sides of the ball as well. Remember, different size as far as we're talking about as far as members of your team. 40 members on the NEWFANE team, about 25 on the Wilson team. There's a lot of difference in the number of players that are coming in and out of this game.
And the Panthers go to Stover again on the ground. Bryce Avery recording another tackle. 6'1" defensive tackle for the Lakemen on the stop. About a 1-yard gain, 2nd and 9 coming up. NEWFANE now with 32 rushing scores on the season.
The rain pick it up again, Joe?
Yes, as Capon goes to the outside, and we have a flag at the end of the play. We mentioned at the top that it was about the rain was going to stop for a little, and then it just picked up as Tom just noted. Still with a real feel of 41 degrees, but everyone having a good time on the football field. The cheerleaders are also here as well on both sidelines, as this flag is against NEWFANE.
Folks, you do want to hang out, check on later tonight, tomorrow morning, depending when we get it out. We will have the post-game interviews for the winning team. They'll be on either X, Instagram, or Facebook.
Here's the snap on 2nd and long. Capon fires to the outside, and it is incomplete. The intended receiver, Isaiah Gersung, on the play. He'll now set up 3rd and 19 at the Lakeman 37.
Trying to make a play down
the line as Capon goes to the outside, and the 2-point run is good. The Panthers now lead 31-13. Colin Doxey in the lineup today, only playing defense tonight, coming back from injury. But you talk about guys, Tom, like Josh McCabe at the right guard position, and the list goes on and on. And NEWFANE, traditionally a strong team running the ball and winning the battle in the trenches once again.
And that's the key to success. And if you remember, both coaches said right in there, when you said what was the key to success, they all said, oh, it's about our line, open up the blocks. That's exactly where they both went to, because they knew for them to be successful, they had to have a ground game to do it, because very rarely will you see teams that solely throw the ball one way that can win that way for the entire game all season. You're going to usually get caught up at one point. You need to be two-dimensional, and this is something that really we're seeing happening out here on the field, that NEWFANE has come in and said, I wanted to run the ball, I want to do this today, I want to do this especially in a rain weather day, and they really have done exactly what they wanted to do.
Score is now 33-13 as the kick, a short one, recovered by the Lakemen. So Wilson and the offense will take over. First and 10 with under 9 minutes to go. The ball will be spotted at the Lakemen 45. Check that, the 46-yard line. You can never tell, 45 or 46, and they place it on the 46.
So, Joe, my question to you is, if either of the teams win, do the stores and everything open back up right there to be able to have some parties and different things afterwards? Can I go have a pizza somewhere to be able to celebrate?
I imagine there's a spot or two in town that will be open, as it is near side complete to Ryan Huff. The burst of speed into NEWFANE point territory. Wilson always does a great job, Tom, celebrating his athletes. Back in March when Hamza Merrick became the first state champion in wrestling, they had a huge parade. Only the 29th wrestler in Niagara County going back to 1964. And Hamza's the very first from Wilson. They had a big parade for him. Big celebration for baseball 2 years ago as well. Second and 3 at the NEWFANE 47. Cusadis fires to the outside. It's caught by Huff. He gets the screen on the outside, takes down one man, still into NEWFANE territory. Knocked out of bounds at the 40, but a flag is on the field.
You know, you also talked about Coach Baker a little bit ago. Do you realize what that win streak he had in the Niagara Orleans Conference? That was just broken this last year, but it was upwards of, I don't remember how many it was, but wasn't it upward of almost 80 victories inside
It was
the conference?
close to that, yes.
I want to say 78. Brian, I apologize if you're listening, that I don't have the exact number, but just incredible what they've done as a program here. Coach Atlas in baseball, think about Tyler Johnson on that team. That was one of the top strikeout pitchers ever in Section 6. What we've seen from him. Now he's off to Niagara University doing his thing. Just unbelievable. The Senior All-Star game, remember what he did?
Yes.
It's a home run in the Senior All-Star game out there. You've seen constant teams all over in these sports. Class act when it comes up here to Wilson. It's every year we want to come up here for games just because it truly is a great school, great town to really be a part of. And the same goes for NEWFANE as well. They celebrate the same type of things that are out there when you talk about multiple sports. How about their basketball program? Because they've also done some great things as well.
Yeah, NEWFANE, they've won multiple league titles. They've had a big surge. Ben Dickinson had a huge run, not only in basketball, but in track and field, and Wilson softball had a big run 2 years ago as well. Just when the word success comes to mind, you can't come up with two schools greater than NEWFANE and Wilson. Back to the action. It's a loose ball. Cusadis tracks it down on second and long, and it is incomplete.
I can't believe he got that one off, and he really got it off to make sure that it wasn't going to get intercepted or anything as well.
To 13. Gusanis drops back to pass. It is caught by Michael Rubel, who makes his way past midfield, and then is stopped at the NEWFANE 46-yard line. Big tackle on the outside by Dominic McCooch of NEWFANE. A good gain, and now it's short.
And I'll tell you right now, to me, great call by Coach Atlas. When you have a team that's getting penetration, you got to figure out a way to take advantage of that getting into the backfield. And a screen pass can absolutely do that because they feel they're getting back there anyway, so they're not sensing that you're setting up right there for a screen pass. Great call there by Coach Atlas.
4th and 3 at the NEWFANE 47. Gusanis drops back to pass. He looks to the outside, evades the pressure, throws on the run, and it is just incomplete off of the hands of the receiver, Wyatt McGinnis, and it is a turnover on downs.
Oh, I think if he just turned his body a little bit quicker, McGinnis makes that catch. But when you're backpedaling to do that, very difficult to be able to make a catch. And I just think it was his positioning that stopped it from making it a big play right there. But again, Status with another great pass. You got to give him credit for that because he goes down and hits his receiver in the hands, and that's what you're asking your quarterback to be able to do.
Gusanis, as we mentioned, coming into tonight, completed 69.7% of his passes. As NEWFANE's offense returns to the field for head coach Chuck Nagel. 1st and 10 at the 47. Panthers going left to right on your dial. The 83rd all-time meeting. It has been, as our good friend Norm Palmer always says, a dandy of a game, as this is a handoff to the outside with Tristan Smith on the carry, gets past midfield. The clock continues to wind down, under 7 minutes left in the third.
You know, that's another class act about Norm Palmer. I've done some games with Norm as well, and I'll tell you, he sometimes can give me the energy for the run. He really can, and he's great to call a game with a lot of fun and has been the guy on air for many years up in NEWFANE. And, you know, if you're out there listening, Norm, I'll tell you, true class act you really are, and I've been an absolute pleasure to be able to call a game or two with you.
2nd and 7. Panthers right at midfield. Capon in the shotgun. It's a handoff up the middle. Panthers getting some space to the outside, inside the Wilson 35. As a flag comes in, Tristan Smith, again, getting the carry.
Yeah, this is going to be a holdout here is what it's going to be. You saw exactly where it was thrown to. Looked like it was a hold on Interesano is who it was. As you saw him get into the backfield and you saw that's where the hold was. And as the play broke off, that's when you saw the flag get thrown. But you can see him in the backfield where he was, and that was where the hold that was called.
This will bring up 2nd and 20 at the NEWFANE 40. 6 minutes to play in quarter number 3. Capon is in the shotgun. He takes the snap, goes to his right, goes off one man, makes his way upfield, and then is hit hard by Wyatt McGinnis. About a 1-yard loss here on the stop from Wyatt.
And it looked like he broke one tackle, almost breaks the second one. And what happens if he breaks that next one? Because there is green turf the rest of the way, and he almost turns another big play. But give Wilson the credit because we've talked about it. You've got to right now make those tackles, and they make that tackle right there to keep this a very long third down and possibly make NEWFANE have to go to the air.
Wyatt McGinnis, one of the top tacklers for Wilson. He had an interception as well on the year. As NEWFANE facing 3rd and 19, Capon evades the pressure again, goes towards the Wilson sideline, takes one man down with the shoulder, past the Lakewood 45-yard line. Rubel on the stop. A good scramble from Mac Capon.
But really why that is so good of a scramble for Capon is the way he steps up in the pocket. The pressure is collapsing around him, and he steps up into that pocket, And then once he realized he's got a little bit of a cushion after that step up, that's when he takes off and runs, and that's when you see him get the gain. And then break a tackle or two, and now yards after contact, now he makes it a manageable fourth down play because it's 4th and 10, and now you're back to the line of scrimmage you originally started from. But I'll tell you, Wilson, you make a stop right here, you're going to give yourself incredible field position. It's a big stop right here for Wilson that needs to happen.
NEWFANE is 3 for 3 on 4th down, going for the deep ball down the sideline. It is incomplete. Looking for Mikey Henning on the play. Josiah Lawrence almost had the pick, but nonetheless, the Wilson Lakeman Tom able to force a turnover on downs with 4:13 left in the third quarter.
But I'll tell you, Capon threw a great ball. And even though you're right, I thought Lawrence had great position right there, but it got over his fingertips and then just went through, and that's where you wonder, the wet field, the wet ball, is that the reason why it kind of went through there a little bit? Obviously, we're not down on the field. We can't say that, but we've seen it come into play right here. But that's the stop. The first stop we've seen from the Wilson defense so far today. You come up big, now you've got to have your answer of your own.
Wilson with the offense on the field. It's a handoff up the middle. Rubel gets to the outside, takes one man down, spins again, and knocked out of bounds at the NEWFANE 33-yard line. Michael Rubel, Wilson's leading rusher, with a huge gain here on first down.
Yo, we got our next score update. It comes from the Chautauqua Lake Salamanca game. Chautauqua Lake now leads 14-13 with 7:43 left inside the third quarter. And another update, Orchard Park has answered in the Bennett game. It is Bennett 12, Orchard Park 7 with 5:41 left in the third quarter.
A lot of nail biters tonight in Section 6. Gain of 13 on the last carry for Rubel as Brock Lepsch gets to the outside and inside the 25-yard line. Brock Lepsch recording a 1-yard score back in the second quarter, but there is a flag on the field.
Well, we'll give you that. We'll give you a score update. And this one comes from the Olean game. Lackawanna has the lead now. They are leading Olean 14-7 at the end of the third quarter in that game. And we go back to the Grand Island McKinley game. It's now tied. Grand Island 14, McKinley 14 with 7:34 left. And I think that's in quarter number 3 right there.
Penalty was against Wilson. First and 20. Here is the pitch to Rubel on the outside. Tries to get around the corner, but he cannot. He is met by Matt Capon at the NEWFANE, 45-yard line.
And up next update, it comes from Gowanda Pine Valley Randolph, and Randolph has answered. It's now 22-15 in that game with 3:39 left inside the third quarter. That came fast and furious in those last 30 seconds. We got crazy updates right there in a row. Let's see if we're going to add to the updates here. Can Wilson possibly score right here and add to our scoring updates as they've been coming in fast?
Second and 20 for Wilson at the NEWFANE 44. Usadis drops back to pass. He fires over to the near side looking for Huff. And there's a flag. They get 2 flags on the field.
They say sometimes the shorter pass is the most dangerous pass because there's so many passing interferences on that. That is exactly what that's going to be. But what a great move. Huff read it well, saw the ball, cut inside to be able to make that happen and cause the interference. Now, everybody, this is not an automatic first down. They're going to get 15 yards here. That is not enough to give you the yards. So they're not going to have a first down right here. Everyone has to understand to get a first down, there's only 4 penalties that are automatic first downs, and this is not one of them.
Well, now the penalty from our official as we're looking for the explanation from our referee, Jim Martek, tonight. The penalty is against NEWFANE, but as you just explained, Tom, It's at the 29-yard line.
Yeah, everyone thinks because it's like college or like the NFL, it's an automatic first down. It's not. You need the yardage on that. They don't get the yardage, which is why this stays right where it is at second down.
Rubel in the backfield. A hard count. The handoff to Rubel, the senior. Gets a couple of yards, brought down just shy of the 26-yard line. This is going to still be short. Third down and a manageable 3 coming up. Approaching 2 minutes left in the third.
We're going to go back to that other game that is we talked about earlier, Fredonia-Dunkirk. Fredonia has taken the lead in that one. It's 8-7 at the end of the third quarter, as it's another big rivalry game right there.
Trent Abbott at center all night tonight as the rain continues to fall here in Wilson. Counter run on the carry, spinning. Nick Lemke with the touch. He crosses the 25. And then NEWFANE able to get the stop from Smith.
But you're going to see it still will be a first down. I thought that was a great fake by Kusatis. You see how hard he did that fake? It'll make defenders bite the way they did. And then the handoff, so the opportunity for the first down right there.
Approaching 90 seconds left in quarter number 3. First and 10 for the Lakemen at the NEWFANE 24. And off to Rubel, finds the seam, gets to the outside, still on his feet, going past the 15-yard line. And then he is hit hard, but the Lakemen do have an injured player. Looks to be a lineman down at the moment. Just over a minute left in the third quarter. Coach Atlas comes out to check on the player. And we'll step aside as well. More from Wilson, New York after this short break on Western New York Athletics.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Seek your next adventure. Make your next memory. Explore your next connection. What will you do next?
That is the right tackle on your screen, Landon Mueller. Senior right tackle making his way to the Wilson sideline. It is now 2nd and 1 for the Lakemen at the NEWFANE 15-yard line, late stages of the third quarter. Thanks again for joining us tonight on Western New York Athletics. Joe Kraus, Tom Prince, and our producer, Tim Gardner, riding shotgun here in the heart of Niagara County as Kusatis drops down the pass. He fires, and it is caught on the near sideline by Ryan Huff. Another big play through the air. Wilson extends the drive.
That was a Tim Tebow-esque play. Did you see how he jumped up to clear up over the line and throw that pass? Does a great job of getting it off and getting the first down and using the speed of Huff to the outside so he can get an opening and get it over to him.
Another big pass play between the two seniors as we have an injured NEWFANE player on the near sideline. And we'll step aside as well. More after this break on Western New York Athletics. Isaiah Gerstung is now walking off of the field. Wide receiver and free safety set to graduate in June. Walking under his own power as we are back to go. 1st and 10 for Wilson at the NEWFANE 11. The Lakemen currently trailing 33-13. Ryan Huff with a 45-yard touchdown catch, and Brock Lepsch with a 1-yard score in the first half for the Lakemen, wearing their home black uniforms with the white numerals tonight. NEWFANE in their road blue and white. It's a handoff to the left side through the traffic. Grubel is brought down inside the 5-yard line, and he is shaken up after the run. Grubel is on the sideline now.
It's the way he got taken down. The tackle was up high on the neck is what it was, and you can hear some of the crowd out there, and I think what they were looking for was it a horse collar tackle, and that's what they obviously bang, bang, bang type speed, hard to tell. We're not right there, but I think that's what everybody was talking about, why you heard kind of the moans and groans out there because of the tackle being so high.
Grubel is on the sideline at 2nd and 6 at the NEWFANE 7, going right up the middle, and Wilson able to respond with a big rushing score.
What a great job. That's all your line. You see that push by the line? That's when you say who wants to win. If you want to win in the trenches, that's the type of push that you're going to get. Great job by the offensive line of Wilson. As you see the push, that was a straight push, guy on guy, right up the gut right there to be able to make that one happen.
So Vic Kusanis on the QB keeper. 20 seconds left. Connor Woodward on for the extra point attempt. And Wyatt Hillwick is the holder. Kick is up, line drive, and it is no good. So our score stands, NEWFANE 33, Wilson 19 with 20 seconds left in the third quarter. As we take a look again at the scoring play, Kusanis finding the open space and going right into the end zone, recording his 5th rushing score of the season.
Even though he did miss that extra point, we actually talked to Coach. He is actually the school record holder now for extra points inside a season, and he scored as many as 7 extra points in a game. He's seen a lot of it. So, again, we've talked about it. Listen, the weather is a factor out there, especially we've seen it, the way it stops and starts, and it really has been a constant off and on weather that we've seen for almost the entire game.
Well, in comparison, last season was the season opener, week 1, when Wilson took on NEWFANE, and it was sunny skies out in NEWFANE.
Well, think about it. It's been almost 70 degrees
Yes.
about every game that we've seen this season until this last week.
We have been very fortunate this fall. So, thank you, Mother Nature, as Woodward on the big kick. It is returned by the Panthers. Making their way past the 30, little spin move, and Flowers is taken down hard. Connor Woodward teaming up on the stop as we have the last 14 seconds of play here in the third quarter.
And now as we enter the fourth quarter, this is where we're going to see even more running from NEWFANE. They want to do exactly what they did in that first quarter and second quarter. Control that clock. Think about it. If you could control this for a half a quarter, just say, what you're doing is you're taking away the amount of possessions that Wilson's going to have an opportunity to do to even try to score.
1st and 10 from the 33. Flowers on the carry to the outside. And he is brought down after a couple of yards by Seamus George, who had a few big stops defensively back in the first half. And that will conclude our NEWFANE with the football, facing 2nd and 6 on their own 37. Panthers in front 33-19. Capon takes the snap, steps up. He is on the run again, still on his feet, and brought down at the 45-yard line. Josiah Lawrence in on the stop, as was Wyatt Hillwig. It's a big run for the Panthers up to their own 46-yard line.
You could see that was a designated quarterback keeper. As you saw right when it got into his hands, he went straight up that middle or straight up that A-gap right there to be able to get that first down. So we got another score for you. Chautauqua Lake has taken the lead. It's 21-13 over Salamanca with 6 seconds to go inside the third quarter.
Capon drops back the pass, looks to the near side, and it is intercepted by the Wilson Lakeman. Ryan Huff with the pick, going down the sideline, gets some help, and out of bounds at the Wilson 45-yard line. The big play that Wilson needed, and they got it from their speedster, Ryan Huff. There is a injured player. Looks like Jake Morello. He is on his knees, a little dazed, and now getting up as Morello and Huff collided. An interception for the Lakemen.
Joe, did I not call Huff one of the most athletic players in Section 6? That was one all athletic right there. He goes up and makes, first of all, an incredible catch, then comes down and really doesn't hit the ground. How many people would go up like that and then come down and hit the ground? Stays on his feet and then takes it all the way back into NEWFANE territory. Unbelievable athletic play. I'll tell you, that's something that should be on a highlight reel right there. It really should.
And that is his 4th interception of the season and the 10th this year for Bill Atlas and the Wilson Lakemen. Wilson takes over. Just over 11 minutes left in regulation time. The Lakemen trailing by 2 scores. Kusatis takes the snap, going for the deep ball, going over down the seam. It is incomplete, looking for Huff. Tight coverage in the secondary from Gerstung and Capon of NEWFANE.
Now, I want you to notice what Wilson did. We talk about adjustments in the game. Lepsch was brought in to be a fullback. You see the block that he lays out there. What he does is he gives right there, he gives Kusatis enough time to make that throw right down the field, but that's a big play, whether you realize it or not. That block gives time to make that play happen to try to get it to your big receiver.
2nd and 10 for the Lakemen, currently at the NEWFANE 48-yard line. QB keeper, Kusatis gets to the outside, still on his feet, and brought down at the NEWFANE 34-yard line. A huge run for the senior, showing the strength that he provides on the wrestling mat, too. A big first down to the NEWFANE 35.
Yeah, I love this move by Coach Atlas, bringing in Lepsch into that backfield right now, because I really believe what he's doing is he is giving his quarterback more time to do either way he wants, run the ball or throw the ball, but he's the one that's helping that offensive line give the time that needs to happen. And look at, he looks like a lineman in the backfield when you look at him compared to what we've seen inside the backfield.
Brock Lepsch, 6 foot, 200 pounds, as Kusatis throws to the outside. It's caught by Huff. He makes one move, still on his feet, past the 30. He breaks away once again, and then finally shoved out of bounds by Colin Doxey of NEWFANE. Ryan Huff continuing to heat up on the outside for the Lakemen.
Boy, I'll tell you, the wide receivers right now in Western New York, when you're looking at, obviously right now we've already talked about Huff and what he's done, but last week I got a chance to see Zankel over at Will South. You seeing exactly what we see this. How about the Nellis brothers over at Eden North Collins? I mean,
Kusatis in the shotgun.
game. Can Wilson do that right now and really cause havoc at getting this back to a one-score game?
2nd and 3 at the 15. The one bump keeps it going and brought down inside the 5-yard line. Brock Lepsch and his hulking presence keeps the chains moving for the Lakemen. And this is going to set up, Tom, first and goal at the NEWFANE 5.
Folks, you better not go anywhere for the last 9 minutes. We got a game here. We got a rivalry here. We got first place on the line here. It's all here. Stay right here because this last 9.5 minutes are going to be something to watch.
Lakeman in the I formation. Vic Cusatis under center. He gets the snap from Trent Abbott. The handoff to Lepsch. He is taken down quickly by the NEWFANE defense. Jake Morello back in the action. It takes him down, second and goal coming up.
I'll tell you, do you really do a lot different right now? The only difference I may do, we've seen Lepsch run the ball twice now. I think you use him as a blocker. I think you use him as a fullback. Let him go into the hole, open up something in that hole, and then allow Cusatis to follow him into the hole to make this happen. That's what I'd be looking for right here.
Lakeman looking for their 23rd rushing score of the year. Here is the handoff to the big man Lepsch. He crosses the goal line, and it is a touchdown for the Wilson Lakemen. Brock Lepsch, his second rushing score of the night, this time from 2 yards out, and the Lakemen are back in the ball game.
Great job right there. And you saw don't give up, and they don't give up on Lepsch as he gets right into that end zone. And, folks, it's now a ball game right here. So now we'll see. The extra points now are all going to become big right here. Can this be a 7-point game? Do they go for it for 2? There's a lot of things we're going to take a look at right now. I think they're going for this, aren't they? They're going for this. They want a 2-point conversion right here.
NEWFANE was up 25-13 at halftime. Here's the snap. Cusatis rolls to his right, fires. It is a little bobble incomplete, just out of the hands of Ryan Huff that time. But the Wilson Lakemen, with 8:26 left in the fourth quarter, trails NEWFANE now 33-25. As we take a look once more at the running score. Brock Lepsch from the 2-yard line, and we now have an 8-point game.
And actually, you know what they did on that one? Seamus George is who they used on that one. That was the blocker, the lead blocker, and you saw his block open up that finish hole right there for Lepsch to go through. Great job right there. He's using his defensive linebackers and linemen as lead blockers, and they're coming up big right now.
Well, Wilson had a lot of success in the running game and in the trenches just 2 years ago when they went all the way to the Class D championship. Jack Mahar was the running back, and the offensive line was huge in that run. An 8-3 finish 2 years ago, which was part of when Wilson last beat NEWFANE 2 years ago. 36-34 the finish in that one. We have 8:26 still to go in this year's edition. The 83rd all-time NEWFANE and Wilson. Wilson is 15-10 in the rivalry, Tom, since 2000.
I'll tell you the only thing who I feel bad about when the scores get up this high. It's the cheerleaders.
Loose ball for a moment. Not to cut you off there, Tom.
No, you're good. You're good.
But yes, the cheerleaders going hard at work.
They're still doing their push-ups from the last score. That's who I feel bad for the most out there. They're doing all the work.
So now the NEWFANE offense just 8 points in this second half. Wilson has outscored the Panthers 12-8 since halftime. Matt Capon back on the field, 4 rushing scores. And then the last one from Cameron Stover late in the third quarter from 37 yards out. Full house here tonight here in Wilson, part of a big weekend that began earlier this afternoon. Wilson boys soccer with a postseason win. The girls are back in action tomorrow at noon. Here's the snap. Matt Capon up the middle on the QB keeper. He gets 2-3 yards and then brought down by Brady Seeley. Second down coming up. As we mentioned, wild night here in Section 6 football. Jake and Francis still in the studio. Back in Amherst, the Umpire State End Zone Report. The Octobox is alive and well once again for those guys. And be sure to stick around post-game. Tom Prince will be talking with the winning coach and players of the game. 2nd and 7 coming up at the 33-yard line. Matt Capon takes the snap. He rolls to his left, finds the open space, still on his feet, and brought down at the 37-yard line. A big hit coming from Seamus George once again.
Boy, I'll tell you, this really now this becomes a drive where you could say really is important for both teams. It is a both team scenario where you could say is this could be the difference in this game on this drive right here. Because if Wilson makes that stop, it can get down on the field, you're a 2-point conversion from making this a tie ball game. Same thing, flip it on the other side for NEWFANE. You get down and score, and you do your run behind Capon right now, and he puts that Superman cape on that we've seen so far that you talked about in the first half. He does that, and it could be the difference in the game.
Before we get to the next snap, a timeout on the field. A timeout is charged by NEWFANE, and we will step aside as well. 6:47 left in the fourth quarter. Don't touch your dial. NEWFANE leads Wilson 33-25. We're back after this break on Western New York Athletics.
Build your next connection. Earn your next internship. Crush your next goal. What will you do next?
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com.
And this half the adjustments. Right there, Seamus George on the stop.
For NEWFANE, boy, this is a big call right now here by Coach Nagel.
There's 6 minutes left. 4th and short. Capon in the shotgun, rolls to his left, gets away from one defender, still on his feet. The legs keep moving down the field to the 30, the 20, and that is going to be a touchdown for Mac Capon, his 5th of the night from 60 yards out.
Wow, I got to be honest with you. I really thought there was a hold on that play. I'm not going to lie. If we get a chance to see if you look at the replay, when you saw the defense coming in, it really looked like out. And you're hearing it out there because I really thought everybody thought that was going to be a hold that was called that doesn't get called. But that's why you don't give up on a play right there, and Capon takes advantage of it and, again, shows the speed, puts the cape on, and then takes off to the end zone.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 rushing touchdowns tonight for Matt Capon. He has an offer from Albany already as the pass is deflected and no good. The Panthers now lead 39-25 with 5:52 to play.
Let's give a score update just so everybody knows. It's coming from the Gowanda Pine Valley game, and it's now tied. Gowanda Pine Valley 22, Randolph 22 in the fourth quarter with 3:22 left in that one. Grand Island and McKinley are still tied. Oh, no, I'm sorry. McKinley has taken the lead 22-14 over Grand Island with 9:05 left in the fourth quarter.
Both those games going on right now on the NFHS network. Carson Harper, Tim Chifa over at McKinley Grand Island, and Norm Rodriguez and the Jamestown crew right now at Gowanda Pine Valley. Great games on hand. We appreciate Tom once again for bringing the updates all night here, as we're having a great time here in Wilson.
And I do got another score update. This comes from the Bennett Orchard Park game. Bennett now leads this one 18-7 with 10:37 left in the game.
Bennett Tigers trying to wrap up the number 1 seed in AA. They defeated Lancaster last week. As Matt Capon, another short kick. Lakeman able to get the return. Here is Huff. Gets some space to the outside, crosses the 40, and he is brought down hard by NEWFANE's Capon. He makes the kick and then the tackle. A good return for Huff. Those who have had a lot of great memories in multiple sports. Huff for Wilson, Capon for NEWFANE. 5:44 left to play. The Wilson offense, Tom Prince takes over, looking to get another score again.
I'll tell you, so now obviously you're down by 2 scores, so you've got to get some quit strikes. I really expect we're going to see Wilson try to go back to the air right here and see if they can find Huff somewhere on the outside to make something big happen. They got their big man to be able to make that extra time in the backfield. They're sticking with this setup. Look for them to go to the air.
Gusanis drops. It is caught on the near sideline by Huff, and he is taken down. Tackle made by Flowers, about a 4-yard gain, 3-yard gain up to the 44.
Now that clock just keeps moving right here.
A lot at stake, as we mentioned. The number 1 seed for Class D in Section 6 is on the line. The postseason begins next week. Gusanis takes the snap, rolls to his left. Vick is on the run. Then throws. It is caught by Wilson, but we have a flag on the field.
Joe, I got a new update for you as we look at this flag. St. Joe's leading UPrep out of Rochester, 35-24 in the 4th quarter.
Marauders doing well. St. Francis taking on Bishop Timon also tonight, and tomorrow Canisius.
No, they took on Timon last week, St. Francis.
You're right, yep.
They're taking on out of McDowell, out of Erie, is who St. Francis has. Next week,
tomorrow.
Next week's
yes,
the big week.
The
Next
big one.
week it is, right? Next week, St. Francis, Canisius for the Monsignor Martin title
Yes.
in that one.
Canisius taking on Huron Heights from Ontario tomorrow out at Stransky. Senior day for the Crusaders as well. 2nd and 17 at the 34. Gusanis in shotgun. He looks to the outside. It is incomplete. Looking in the slot for Huff. Just off his hands. And now it is 3rd and long coming up for the Lakemen.
And I'll tell you, if he comes down with that, there's a chance he finds a little bit of an opening to take that for a big distance. But it just goes off his hands that you saw right there. And now a big 3rd down play right here for the Lakemen.
Lakemen have been able to convert some 3rd down plays all night. We mentioned about NEWFANE's success on 4th down, especially in the first half. But here we go. Huff motion over to the left of Gusanis. He takes the snap. He drops back. Feeling the pressure from Silver. Now he throws on the run. It is up. It is incomplete. Out of the hands of Huff.
Yeah, this is a flag thrown on this play. I think this is going to be an offsides call on Wilson is what it's going to be. You saw Huff when he went into motion, got across that line, and that's when all you saw the NEWFANE players point right there. And it was thrown on the far side right at the line of scrimmage is where the ball was thrown, where the flag was thrown, sorry. So we may see them absolutely decline this penalty and make it a 4th down. That's what they're over there talking about. So they're going to decline this. what they say, an illegal shift is what they call. Then that was the in motion right there by Huff that you saw when he went and then turned and crossed that line. That's what that call was, declined 4th down now.
Wilson needs to get to NEWFANE 49. Kusanis drops back the pass, feels the pressure on the run, and then he is sacked. He is brought down by NEWFANE's leading sack leader, Nasir Spencer. He came into the night with 6, make that the 7th, and a big one. It's a turnover on downs. NEWFANE takes over with 4:20 left to play.
And a great job. Look at the whole defensive line. 1, 2, 3, 4 guys stood in that backfield right there. And then Spencer comes up with the big play right there to end the set of downs right here for Wilson and gives right now NEWFANE the chance to take over and possibly really end this game right here if they could put it in the end zone.
NEWFANE now has 12 sacks on the season, and Mr. Nasir Spencer has 7 of them. A junior, 6'3", 200-pound defensive end. He has some time in the slot as well for the Panthers, who now take over at the Wilson 34. It's a handoff to Flowers. He gets to the outside, and he is brought down hard. The clock continues to tick after the short gain.
And right now, all that clock is right now helping NEWFANE, and you got to see Wilson's got to figure out a way. How do we get that ball back? How do we make the stops right now?
2-yard gain on the last carry. NEWFANE getting the call. Capon takes the snap. It's a handoff to the outside. Flowers off one defender, and then the Lakemen are able to bring him down as we are at 3 minutes to go here in the 4th. Everyone is still here tonight, going around the fence here at Walter J. Hutchinson Stadium. Capon in the shotgun. He rolls to his right. It's past one man, still on his feet, and then brought down just past the 30, and now a flag has come in. This penalty might go against Wilson.
So, folks, we'll tell you, a lot of things to tune in tonight. If you finish this game, want to find out where it's going, go over to on our broadcast outlets on Western New York Athletics. Look for the Empire State end zone. It's on all social medias. See what's happening in all the games. They'll give you all the updates from there. Plus, look out hopefully for later tonight. If not first thing tomorrow, you'll see the post-game interviews from this game with the winning team and our players of the game. And I got a feeling that people may know one of them.
Western New York Athletics social media. We are on X, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and our website, WNYAthletics.com. So the penalty was against Wilson, as we are down to 2:38 to play in the 4th. Matt Capon with 5 rushing touchdowns, a new season high for him. We mentioned that he had 3 contests with 4 coming into tonight. He has now 5 in this one. A timeout was called with 2:38 to go. Well, Tom, as we mentioned, you're making the trip to Niagara County. Really exciting time here. What are your thoughts on tonight and making the trip out to Niagara County?
Well, I love coming out to Wilson. It is an unbelievable. First of all, what a great complex it is out here. I love doing the same thing we go to NEWFANE. Both incredible complexes. And like I said, what I love about this atmosphere is before this game to see here at a senior night and see how many people from Wilson showed up just to the senior night alone, to me was amazing. Because I've gone to big schools that have had senior night and have not seen anywhere near that we saw the attendance out here tonight. And it just shows both teams have fully supported. Go Wilson, go Wilson. It's been all over on nothing but positivity, and I love seeing that.
On the carry is Stover. It was first.
Gowando wins 28-22 in that one. Bill defeats CSP 22-20 in that game. Unbelievable what we've been seeing out here today. These games have been incredible. Well, I'll tell you, Jake and Francis better be having fun on that broadcast. I'll tell you that.
Under 2 minutes to play, and it's a touchdown this time, the second of the night for Cameron Stover. Stover coming in from 5 yards out. Another rushing score for NEWFANE with 1:48 to play.
And just a great job. I mean, just look at the run game that's been out here today. 7 touchdowns on the ground here by NEWFANE. And that really has to be, no matter what, we better have an offensive lineman as part of these interviews because they've earned that honor out here today as well.
Well, Andrew Watts, the center, part of his senior campaign. A mix of grades on the offensive line this year for Chuck Nagel as this extra point attempt is up and good. NEWFANE now leads Wilson 46-25. Incredible from NEWFANE, which is now 11 points shy of its season high when they scored 58 against Allegheny Limestone Hinsdale 2 weeks ago. They also scored 47 against Randolph and a lot of other scores in the 30s.
Joe, I got a final from Bennett as Bennett has defeated Orchard Park 24-7. And the Bennett Tigers will be the number 1 seed inside the AA division.
Incredible effort from Bennett over the last 2 weeks. Myself, Ryan Mountain, were there last Friday for the big win over Lancaster. And now they lock up that number 1 seed. Their only loss was out of state in Ohio. That's pretty incredible.
How about the interview with Jimmy Valentine? I loved it. He looked at us and go, I am made for these games. I live for these games. And he wasn't saying nothing negative about anything, just about how he couldn't wait to play and make an impact in both these games. And he's done exactly that, Joe.
So under 2 minutes to play. A reminder, be sure to follow Francis and Jake, the Empire State End Zone Report. I believe I'll be calling in at some point as well to the guys. Doing a great job back in Amherst. And Tom, do we have an update on McKinley Grand Island? Is that game still going on?
Yeah, it must be. I don't. They were behind everybody a little bit. So with no update, I'm assuming that is still a McKinley lead, 22-14.
Wilson offense back on the field under 2 minutes to play. It's a handoff to Brock Lepp. She finds the open space and then brought down at midfield by Aiden Cronkite. Also in on the action, looked like Corbin Haney as well. So 5 rushing touchdowns tonight for Matt Capon. Aaron Stover with the other 2. 7 rushing scores total. As we have reached the last minute of play. Just want to emphasize, big thanks again to the Wilson support staff for welcoming us here tonight as Cusattis through the pressure, and he is sacked. But if you're a Wilson Lakeman fan, Tom, the season is far from over as they are still in a good spot in the postseason.
And remember, this still will be the number 1-2 seed. These two could play each other again if they win out and get themselves to the stadium. Boy, would that be something, right? Another rivalry at the stadium. Boy, I'll tell you, I bet you both of these teams would love to see that happen.
And, of course, the final year of Highmark Stadium as it currently is before the Buffalo Bills move into their new home across the street. They'll be coming up the weekend of November 13th and 14th at Orchard Park as we have a flag on the field. Both teams looking for a sectional championship in program history, but both have won 5 divisional titles coming into tonight. NEWFANE did so in 1952, 62, 84, 93, and 2019. Wilson won 5, the first in 1975, then 1985, 1994, 1999, and then 2019. Last play here tonight. Lakeman won't get it off, and the NEWFANE Panthers remain unbeaten and take the number 1 seed in Class D, now 8-0 on the year, 7-0 in Class D action. Our final score, the Panthers take down Wilson 46-25. Wilson now 51-30-2 in the all-time series. NEWFANE has won 3 of the last 4 meetings. Tom Printer, final thoughts before we go down for the postgame.
I want to spell it out, Mac Capon, because that young man had one heck of a game. 5 touchdowns, 4 in the first half, the reason for that lead, and then he extends that lead with his legs again. Just what he has done on the field and what he does with yards after contact is something amazing to watch.
Once again, our final score, NEWFANE defeats Wilson on rivalry night 46-25. For my partner, Tom Prince, and our producer, the one-of-a-kind Tim Gardner, I am Joe Kraus. We thank you all for tuning in here from Niagara County. You've been watching Section 6 football on Western New York Athletics.